Ladies and gentlemen, Night of Champions 2025 just concluded, and now it's high time that I predict who will dethrone every current WWE champion, both in NXT and on the main roster. Last time I did this, there were a bunch of different champions than there are now, so we have a lot to predict. In this video, what we're going to be doing is, as I said before, be predicting who is going to be dethroning every current champion, and then I'll also review who I said will win the championship next in my last video, if that makes sense. So, without further ado, let's get into the video, starting with the NXT roster and the NXT Tag Team Championship, which are currently held by Hank and Tank. Now, I'm not really into the tag team division over on NXT that much as the main roster, so I don't know a lot of the tag teams within NXT at the moment. All I really knew was Chase U, so I'm gonna go with Chase U. I don't even know if they're still a thing because Duke Hudson got released, but that's the only team I know of in NXT. Like, I am watching more NXT. It's just the fact that I legit don't know of any other tag team in the NXT division. So because of that, I'm gonna go with Chase U, a team that I don't even know still exists. So that's who I got going for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Next up, we got the NXT Women's North American Championship, which is currently held by Sol Ruca, and I expect her to drop it to none other than her best friend, her BFF, Zarya. I feel like that's what they're building to with the whole Tatum Paxley storyline and all that. I feel like Zarya is eventually going to turn on Sol Ruca and capture that NXT Women's North American Championship. That's why I believe that the direction it's going to go in for that. And again, for the NXT guys, I'm not going to give that much of an explanation just for the fact that, again, I'm still getting into it. You know really all the storylines or superstars yet. That's why I'm kind of going quick. Next up, we got the NXT North American Championship, currently held by All Ego Ethan Page. I expect him to drop it right back to Ricky Saints. Deadass. Like, I think Ethan Page, it's high time he gets called up to the main roster. Obviously, Ricky Saints returned to take out Ethan Page. Their feud is still going on from before, and I could 100% see Ethan Page dropping it to Ricky Saints, and then Ricky Saints stays in the NXT for at least like another year or so, while Ethan Page gets a boost up in the main roster. That's what I believe is going to happen for the NXT North American Championship. Next up, we got the NXT Women's Championship, which is currently held by JC Jane. If you were to tell me before Blake Monroe debuted, I would have said either Jasmine Nix or Fallon Henley would turn on JC Jane and break up Fatal Influence as we know it, but no, that's not the case. The case is Blake Monroe has her eyes set on the NXT Women's Championship, and that's who I believe is going to take the NXT Women's Championship. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as to say Blake Monroe will take it at Great American Bash, and we're going to have Jordynne Grace versus Blake Monroe for the NXT Women's Championship at Evolution 2 instead of JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace at Evolution 2, right? Blake Monroe is just a bigger draw, a bigger name. I don't see JC Jane making the Evolution card, so I 100% see Blake Monroe winning it at Great American Bash, which again, is totally possible, right? Blake Monroe got taken out by JC Jane with JC Jane standing tall at Blake Monroe's signing, so they're building to it. They're building to it. So they obviously want a JC Jane and Blake Monroe feud before JC Jane gets to Evolution 2, because I don't see Blake Monroe feuding with a JC Jane without a title. That's just kind of a random feud to start with. So I see Blake Monroe winning that championship and winning that championship soon. She's going to get the biggest push on NXT. If you thought Stephanie McCurr and Julia got huge pushes as soon as they came to NXT, oh boy, do I got news for you. Blake Monroe could very well be the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of all time. Like, I'm going to just keep it a buck here. Next up, we got the NXT Championship, currently held by Obafemi, and he's like the Jacob Fatu of the NXT roster. Like, I don't see him losing or dropping it to anyone whatsoever. However, if I were to pick, because again, that's the video, I have to pick someone realistically to beat that said champion for the championship, I see Jasper Troy, who still has his eyes set on Obafemi in the NXT Championship, dethroning Obafemi. I feel like Jasper Troy is the next big thing in the NXT men's division. He put on a clinic with Obafemi on NXT a few weeks ago, and obviously he wants Obafemi in that championship right back, and I feel like once Obafemi drops that championship to Jasper Troy, that's when Obafemi gets called up, and Jasper Troy runs the NXT division, much like how Obafemi ran the NXT division this year and last year as well. So yeah, that's where I see going with the NXT Championship. And now moving on to the main roster, a weird situation with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, which is currently held by, I guess, only Raquel Rodriguez, because of course Liv Morgan got injured with her shoulder and she's out for the foreseeable future, and currently Raquel Rodriguez has no partner whatsoever. So I don't know if the Tag Team Championships are going to get just deleted entirely. I don't know if they're going to give Roxanne Perez potentially the gold with Raquel Rodriguez, considering Roxanne Perez did help Raquel Rodriguez over at Night of Champions against Rhea Ripley. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're under the influence that the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships are still a thing, and they are still going to get defended. With that being said, I believe that Roxanne Perez will replace Liv Morgan, if I were a betting man, to become Raquel Rodriguez's partner, to continue and build on that story of Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez kind of having some beef with each other. For when Liv Morgan does return, they could capitalize on the feud with Roxanne Perez. Last video I said Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and while I do believe Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are going to cross paths and become partners in the Wyatt Six eventually, I don't think it's going to happen in the foreseeable future. Like, I'm going to be honest here, there's no hints or directions, no TV glitches when she's on screen, nothing. Literally nothing of indication that Alexa Bliss is going to be with the Wyatt Six soon. So I believe that Alexa Bliss is going to partner with Charlotte Flair eventually. They've been building that up for a while, how both of them need each other's help as veterans in the locker room. With that being said, I'm going to throw a long shot out there and say that the Bella Twins will return for Evolution 2. Because I feel like that's what they were going to build up before Liv Morgan got injured. I feel like because Liv Morgan attacked Nikki Bella on Raw a few weeks ago, they were going to build to the Bella Twins taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I mean, that just made sense. So I feel like that's still the plan. I feel like the Bella Twins do actually win the Women's Tag Team Championships, believe it or not. A nice veteran team to add to the legacy of the championships. It makes sense. It makes total sense, right? It's just a matter of if Brie Bella will return. And if she does return for Evolution 2, again, the Bella Twins are winning those tag team championships, right? They're in an awful spot with Raquel Rodriguez and the Judgment Day in general. They need a new change of hands, and the perfect change of hands would be none other than the Bella Twins, the fan favorite Bella Twins. So that's who I'm going to go with to dethrone the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Next up, we got the WWE Tag Team Championships, currently held by Street Profits. Last video I said Fraxium because they were on an absolute roll. They earned their title shot. They defeated every single SmackDown tag team there was, and they defeated the Street Profits in a non-tag team title match. So, like, that was like one of those predictions where I bet all my money for Fraxium to come out on top and win the tag team championships as soon as they got the title shot. However, things change, right? Things change, and one of the biggest changes in the WWE in recent memory is the Wyatt Six, and specifically the Wyatt Six getting inserted into the tag team title scene over on SmackDown without seemingly any build-up whatsoever. They just kind of appeared, and they automatically got a title shot. And they, of course, they didn't win the tag team championships last Friday due to interference from all the other tag teams. However, if they lose clean, I don't see a way of them recovering from that. So because of that, I feel like the next time the Wyatt Six get a tag team title shot, they're winning those suckers right away. And I feel like the Wyatt Six is going to get another shot before any other team, in my opinion, and ultimately win the tag team championships from the Street Profits. While I don't like how the Wyatt Six are getting booked in a way where they're just automatically getting title shots for seemingly no reason whatsoever, we got to take into account the fact that they're the freaking Wyatt Six, and they will win most of their matches. They will, right? It's yeah, come on, you know. Next up, we got the World Tag Team Championships, currently held by the New Day. And I said Pretty Deadly last video. That was like a shot in the dark completely. That's not happening. I Pretty Deadly, first of all, the draft never happened, so Pretty Deadly is still on SmackDown, and they're not even in the SmackDown tag team title scene, which is absolutely stacked with literally most teams on SmackDown. There's not a lot of tag teams on Raw that can challenge the New Day besides from the War Raiders and A-Town Down Under, which A-Town Down Under I feel like is going to break up soon, and the War Raiders just have no momentum, no crowd noise whatsoever. I don't think they're in the cards either. The New Day are heels, right? They're probably the best heel tag team on the card right now because they're the only ones that really get reactions from the crowd. Even American Made, like Brutus Creed and Julius Creed, don't really get reactions either. So I'm gonna go with a brighter light in the sea of darkness. The Usos actually reuniting and winning the World Tag Team Championships from the New Day. I feel like that's what they're building up to, right? Jey Uso lost the championship to Gunther over on Raw. The New Day made a reaction video saying, ha, he's a loser, whatever, we're gonna congratulate Gunther. Jey Uso didn't deserve it, what have you. So I feel like they're slowly but surely building up to a New Day versus the Usos feud or title match. They planted the seeds already, It's just a matter of when, not if. Because obviously the Usos are a generational tag team. They were going to reunite eventually. And what better way to do it than to fill in the void of the Raw tag team division and going straight for the champions in the New Day, because well, those teams have, you know, just crazy history with each other. That team will bring the hype back to the Raw tag team division. So I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like the Usos are going to reunite and take out the New Day for the World Tag Team Championships. Next up, we got the Women's United States Championship, currently held by Julia, who defeated Zelina Vega on SmackDown last Friday. And Julia seems to be one of Triple H's favorites. If you know any superstar that's Triple H's favorite, they're going to get strapped to the moon, whether the crowd likes it or not. And Julia, I feel like, is one of those people. Last time I said Nikki Bella was going to win the United States Championship. I don't know why I said that, but I did. I said Nikki Bella. That's obviously changed. That's not happening whatsoever. I think the best way to get this United States Championship to at least on the level of the Women's Intercontinental Championship would be to pin Julia against a veteran that would add to the legacy of the United States Championship, that would add to the legacy of Julia herself as well. And what better veteran than one of the most over women on the roster in Alexa Bliss, okay? I feel like Alexa Bliss is the next one to feud with Julia, and I feel like Alexa Bliss is the next one to win the Women's United States Championship, because again, the Women's United States Championship picture is dull as heck. Okay, we got Chelsea Green, Zelina Vega, and Julia. That's all we got. So I feel like the best way to kind of get the momentum going for the United States Championship for the women would be to add a veteran like Alexa Bliss, who always gets pops, who always draws in viewers, to feud for this United States Championship and to make it feel authentic, to make it feel like a title worth going after. So I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss to dethrone Julia for the Women's United States Championship. Also, just to have Alexa Bliss add to her already amazing legacy as a women's superstar. So I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss to win the Women's United States Championship. Next up, we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship, currently held by Becky Lynch, who defeated Lyra Valkyria and dethroned her as a heel. And I absolutely loved their duo of matches. It was incredible, in my opinion. And they're, of course, not done feuding, right? Last time I said Becky Lynch because as of that video, Lyra Valkyria was the Women's IC Champion. I got Becky Lynch right, so that's a nice little 10 out of 10 points for me. Who do I think will dethrone Becky Lynch and become the next Women's IC Champion? Well, I don't think it's going to be Lyra next. I feel like Bayley is the perfect woman to pin Becky Lynch for the Women's IC Championship. Of course, they're already feuding right now, and Lyra's just getting back into the feud herself. I think Bayley winning it from Becky Lynch, two of these main eventers feuding for a mid-card title, just like the United States Championship, just adds to its legacy, adds to its authenticity. It just makes perfect sense for Bayley to be the next woman to win the IC Championship. And, you know, these are two of the 4 horsewomen of the women's division, you know, that they are. And Bayley winning it from Becky Lynch just makes the perfect sense. And while I do believe Lyra Valkyria does win the championship back eventually, I don't think it's going to be next. I feel like Bayley wins the championship at some point. So I'm going to go with Bayley to win that one there. Next up, we got the United States Championship, currently held by Solo Sikoa, who defeated Jacob Fatu in a freaking 4-on-1, essentially, handicap match, which was kind of crazy. Last video I said Solo Sikoa, and I got that right. Jacob Fatu was the current champion back then. And I said the feud was going to last over the summer, and I feel like it's going to last over the summer. I don't think this is the last time Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu square up in the ring, especially because Solo Sikoa is the champion. With that being said, I feel like the obvious answer to all of this here is if Jacob Fatu wins it right back from Solo Sikoa, because I feel like that's going to happen. I feel like Jacob Fatu is going to get some reinforcements, whether it's the Usos he gets, maybe Roman Reigns, whoever it may be. Him winning the United States Championship back is just the obvious choice, right? Jacob Fatu is like the Superman of the division, right? He is impossible to pin down. And when he does get pinned down, it's with the help of like 20 other people against him. And that's exactly what happens. So I feel like once Solo Sikoa loses that advantage of the extra hands, the extra people, the extra bodies, Jacob Fatu wins that US Championship right back. I'm happy for Solo Sikoa that he finally got a mid-card championship. He absolutely deserves it. I'm excited for how his reign will go, but as I said before, like, Jacob Fatu is just on another level. He's not, you know, going to be titleless for long. I expect him to win it back as soon as SummerSlam because, again, this feud is not done whatsoever, especially because they debuted a new Bloodline member and also got Tonga Loa back. I mean, he's far from out of the United States Championship picture, so I'm going with Jacob Fatu. Next up, we got the Intercontinental Championship, currently held by Dominic Mysterio. He got lucky here because I believe Dominic Mysterio, next time he defends that IC Championship, he's not going to be so lucky. He's going to drop that shit. However, with that being said, last video I said Finn Balor will be the one to turn on Dominic Mysterio and pin him. That still hasn't happened. They're really dragging this Judgment Day Finn Balor story, like, out. Like, Finn Balor should have been IC champion a long time ago. However, he's not. We gotta deal with it. And, of course, as I said, things change, and I don't think Finn Balor is going to be the next IC champion, unfortunately. Actually, not unfortunately, because I really like the pick I have here. I see AJ Styles actually winning the IC championship from Dominic Mysterio as soon as Dominic Mysterio is able to compete. I feel, honestly, like, if Dominic Mysterio never got injured for the Night of Champions match, I could have seen AJ Styles pick up the win against Dominic Mysterio when they had it. So, Dominic Mysterio is lucky to hold on to that title for a few more days. However, again, as I said before, once he's able to compete, I see AJ Styles winning that IC championship. AJ Styles is primed and ready to win a mid-card title. He's over, he has all the momentum going, and Dominic Mysterio, who's kind of been a lackluster champion, who really never defends his title whatsoever, needs to drop that title immediately. And while I do believe Finn Balor will eventually win the IC Championship at some point, I feel like it's more likely he wins the IC Championship against AJ Styles rather than Dominic Mysterio. Matter of fact, I'm going to go as far as to say I see AJ Styles holding on to that IC Championship and challenging John Cena at Clash in Paris for the IC Championship and having John Cena win it from AJ Styles to become a Grand Slam champion. Like, I genuinely believe John Cena's not done. Once he loses that undisputed WWE Championship, I believe John Cena's next target is the IC Championship, and what better way to do it than to run it back with AJ Styles himself, who is kind of like on the top of everyone's list on who John Cena should face for his retirement tour. But the main point we want to focus on right now is AJ Styles wins the IC Championship from Dominic Mysterio. Next up, we got the WWE Women's Championship, currently held by Tiffany Stratton, who defeated Nia Jax in a last woman standing match over on SmackDown, which was pretty nice. It was a nice match. I personally liked it, much to the dismay of others. That being said, there's another person, another match that really didn't sit well with me, and that was the Queen of the Ring final, where Jade Cargill won the opportunity to face Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. I didn't think it was the right choice personally, but it happens. Last video I said Jade Cargill is the next woman to win the WWE Women's Championship, and I'm sticking with that prediction. I feel like WWE are putting a rocket onto Jade Cargill, whether she deserves it or not, whether she's a good wrestler or not. That's what I feel like WWE are doing, and I see Jade Cargill winning that championship come SummerSlam. Okay, I do. And whether she only wins it for a few minutes and then Naomi cashes in, what have you, it's bound to be Jade Cargill as the next women's champion. Because, again, she's getting this push. Like, it has to be for something. She defeated Asuka, for God's sake. Alright, she defeated Asuka. So, I don't know. I see Jade Cargill winning, much like last video. Next up, we got the Women's World Championship, currently held by Io Sky, who has not defended the title since winning it at WrestleMania. Like, where the hell is Io Sky? She has not, the Women's Tag Team Championships got defended more than the Women's World Championship. That's saying something. That really is. Anyways, the point is, I said Bianca Belair last video. Personally, I don't see her returning from injury anytime soon, so with that being said, I'm changing my answer to Rhea Bloody Ripley. She defeated Raquel Rodriguez in the street fight on Night of Champions. She's got the momentum going. I mean, she essentially defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez together. So, in a 2-on-1 handicap. So, Rhea Ripley, she got that much-needed win to push her back into the main event scene, and I feel like Rhea Ripley's next target is the Women's World Championship against Io Sky. I see Rhea Ripley facing Io Sky at possibly even Evolution 2, or whatever it may be. I feel like Rhea Ripley is the next Women's World Champion, and will dethrone Io Sky to become the Women's World Champion yet again. Next up, we got the World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by the Ring General, Gunther. I said Sami Zayn. I really thought he was going to win King of the Ring. He didn't, and I don't think he's going to be the next World Heavyweight Champion, in my opinion. Gunther is going to hold on to that title for a long time. is what I would say. I'm gonna go with a shot that a lot of people will take to the heart. I'm gonna go with Goldberg to actually win the World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther. WWE, like, they're not saying that Saturday night's main event is Goldberg's last match. They're not saying it. They're just refusing to say it's his last match, which, like, even Goldberg himself, when he was face to face with Gunther, he said, "You're next." He didn't say you're last, he said you're next. That leads me to believe that Goldberg might have more than one match in him left. And I feel like Goldberg wins the World Heavyweight Championship yet again. And I believe that Gunther does win it back from Goldberg. Alright, let's calm down for a second. I believe Goldberg doesn't hold on to that title for long. Matter of fact, I could see him winning in Saturday night's main event to get that pop in his home crowd and then loses to Gunther the next Monday Night Raw. Like, I just see Goldberg winning the World Heavyweight Championship. When I see a championship and Goldberg involved in the late 2010s, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, how much time will Goldberg take to defeat and claim that championship? I wasn't thinking, will Goldberg win? I was thinking, when is he going to win? How much time will it take for him to win? I know it's going to be under 5 minutes. It's just a matter of when. I feel like it's kind of the same vibe here. Like, this is giving me 2017, 2018 vibes, you know? Like, Goldberg is, I feel like, going to win this. I feel like he's going to win this. I mean, even WWE are questioning, like, they're kind of, like, leading fans on, like, what if Goldberg wins? What if he, you know, wins the championship? What's going to happen? Even Goldberg kind of hinted at it. So, like, call me an ogre and far, far away, but that's why I see it happening. So, I'm going to go with Goldberg. And finally, the undisputed WWE Championship, currently held by the Unseen 17, the greatest of all time, the 17-time world champion John Cena, who had a crazy match against CM Punk at Night of Champions, but ultimately retained the championship thanks to some help with Seth Rollins yet again, because it seems like Seth Rollins cannot keep himself from getting into other people's business, especially CM Punk's. Point is, John Cena's still champ. I said Cody Rhodes last video, and I'm gonna be honest, that's just not changed whatsoever. Cody Rhodes won the King of the Ring tournament. I could see him winning against John Cena as soon as SummerSlam. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go as far as to say he will win at SummerSlam. Cody Rhodes will not only become the next undisputed WWE champion, he will win at SummerSlam. Honestly, like, call me crazy, but I feel like Cody Rhodes, there's a world where Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel while John Cena turns face at SummerSlam. Both, like a double heel, like a double turn. I see it happening, personally. Don't attack the messenger, you know? Point is, yeah, Cody Rhodes is winning that WWE Championship back right away. He hasn't lost a single step since returning. He's picked up every win possible. He's even pinned John Cena himself in the Money in the Bank tag team match. So whether you guys like it or not, Cody Rhodes is pinning John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. And that's the video. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.